Welcome to Be a Light with Mushan podcast. I'm your host, Mushan Payeski. This podcast is dedicated to spreading kindness, positivity, and knowledge sharing, and emphasizing the importance of human connection and authenticity. Through inspiring stories and journeys of the inspirational individuals on this podcast, we not only just learn about the knowledge, we also learn that no matter where we are in life, we have the power to be a light for others and for ourselves. Everyone on this podcast has illuminated my life, has impacted on my life. And I believe their journeys, their inspiring stories, their messages, perspectives can illuminate your journey as well. Today, I invited my very first speaker and also coach back to my podcast, Michael Pope. Because of him, I launched my podcast in a very brief time, very quick. And I thank him for his support and encouragement and the technology expertise. For those of you who haven't checked out the first episode of this channel, I highly recommend that you check it out. That episode was also interviewing Michael Pope, the same guest speaker, who is special. And today I'm also going to share a brief introduction of him for those new friends here. Michael J. Pope Jr. is an international speaker, executive director with the Maxwell Leadership, and the creator of the transformative DO-ER framework, a powerful system designed to help high achievers break free from hesitation and take a bold, consistent action, known as the hesitation breaker. Michael equips professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs with the tools to overcome procrastination, eliminate excuses, and build the daily habits that lead to massive impact. With over 30 years of experience in the technology and the leadership, Michael blends neuroscience, personal development, and practical systems to help people turn their potential into performance. His work has taken him around the world, sharing stages with legends like John C. Maxwell, Les Brown, and Joseph McClendon III, each recognizing his ability to activate growth and inspire powerful change. Michael is the author of DO-ERs Wins the Day and the go-to coach for high achievers ready to stop overthinking and start executing. His mission is simple: empower leaders to take action, unlock their potential, and create meaningful impact. Just let you know, Michael's journey and Michael are way more impressive than my reading. So now let's welcome Michael Pope.
Yes, it's so great to be back here with you, Musheng. I love seeing you be the light on social media and all over the place. I mean, your progress is amazing as well. So thank you for having me back.
Thank you. Well, we're mutually supporting each other. That's why light meet light. We just create a larger light circle. And
Yes.
so great to see over 2 years. Yes, as you said, I also produced my podcast, 24 episodes now. This is our 24th episode. And I made many inspirational individuals like you. And thanks to you for making this possible in the beginning, as you have been coaching people to change their overthinking and procrastination into action. And I think that was the testament to show. And you just say, oh, it's easy. You can do it. And then just within a couple of days, I just launched my podcast. It's incredible. So I see how important having a great coach is. So tell me and tell our audience a little bit more about this DOER system.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before I even talk about doers, so I am Michael Pope, as Musheng said, everyone, international speaker, coach, and trainer, helping high achievers stop hesitating and taking bold action. And I grew up hesitating a lot, holding back, and that caused me to start taking some of the success principles that I learned and I packaged them in what I call being a doer, DOER, and that's an acrostic that is really a system for taking bold, consistent action.
Share a little bit more how this 2 years took you, like when this doers book was published.
Absolutely, yeah. So what happened was in 2022, I had an opportunity to give a keynote presentation, and I gave a keynote talking about being a doer from stage. And so once I created that keynote and I gave it, the research that I did to actually put together that keynote, it inspired me to start taking more action. So from that moment on, I started giving other doer type talks, whether it was be a doer in public speaking, a doer with your finances, a doer in personal development. So like I started using doer throughout. And finally, earlier this year, I decided to go ahead and put it into a book. And so let me give you an idea of what doer actually stands for. So the D in doer stands for discipline. And I learned from one of my mentors that discipline is doing the prescribed activity no matter what, even and especially when it's difficult. So you have to have that discipline in place to really get started with anything. And then the O in doer stands for one thing, right? As I talk about in the book is, you can do everything. Really, well, you can take that. You can do anything, but you can't do everything at once, right? You can only do one thing at a time. You can only really focus on one thing at a time, and so that's the one thing thought process there. E endure stands for eliminate excuses and distractions, and that's important, right? Because those are those little things that hold us back from taking action a lot of time. It's either an excuse, it's some sort of distraction, it's some sort of story we're telling ourselves. Those normally stop us. And then R endure stands for responsibility. And when I say responsibility, Michelle, I'll talk more about personal responsibility, right? Responsibility of the two things that we have complete control over. One is our attitude, meaning the way we think. And then the second is our actions. And if you follow that with the discipline, the one thing, eliminate excuses and take responsibility, you will be what I call a doer. And as I talk about in the book, and here's what the cover of the book looks like for everyone here. Doers win the day. But one of the things I say, life doesn't reward hesitation; it rewards doers. And so that's so important for people to really embrace the inner doer within.
Yeah, I totally resonate with what you just shared. Just like today, I took the action, ran the half marathon. I thought of it, and I wasn't sure I was able to do it. And then also the weather turned to be a disaster. This morning started snowing, so I had to run in snow and the blizzard and like a wind. It's so cold, and I had no experience. My husband told me, you should give up. I don't know if there are any people that crazy like you and no experience, not at all. You are going to run a half marathon. I said, without running it, I don't know. I have to check it out on my own. So that's what I did. And in the end, it's not horrible. I mean, I didn't win, but it's
You
not
finished a
that
good
bad.
time.
Yeah, it's a good milestone for me. It's a good story to tell. So I totally agree. Just take the action and focus on one thing at a time, as you said, with the discipline. But I had a discipline from daily exercise to build my endurance, my strength, and and
So let me ask you this then.
eliminate the excuses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so let me ask you this. So using the doer framework, let's just talk about discipline first, right? So
yeah.
obviously you talked about some of the things you had to discipline yourself for this half marathon. So how did you stay consistent on the days when you didn't feel motivated to really exercise to prepare for the marathon?
That's actually, yeah, pretty hard. Even though I run almost daily, I only set the goal very low. I have to run a mile and a half.
Mhm.
So I thought that even if I feel terrible, I can walk. So it's easy for me to do it. And once the habit is there, once I started running or walking, I actually usually feel better. Then I
Mhm.
will run better. And then
So
I
taking
would,
that action made you start feeling
yeah,
better.
yeah, the action makes me to take more action. So that's the thing. So many days in the morning, I procrastinate or check on my phone. Then I would feel like, today's not a day. But then I feel like maybe every day is not a day if today is not the day. So just force myself, just get out, get some natural light. That's why like a daily 1.5 mile discipline
Mhm.
build my ability today to run a half marathon, which I had never run before.
Which is also that's an amazing achievement that you did. So let's talk about the one thing. So when you hit the hardest part of your half marathon today, what was the one thing that you told yourself that kept you moving forward? When you maybe you wanted to quit, but what is the one thing you told yourself?
At some point, my legs started giving up and also feeling the aches everywhere. Then I just feel like, oh, just keep running. Probably I would be the last. If I'm the last one, it's okay. The one thing I want to do is to not get injured and to finish the
To
run.
finish.
So
Yeah, that
this
was that
one
one thing,
thing.
right? You wanted to
I can
finish.
finish that. Yeah, I don't. So I forget about the pace, forget about the other things. And people want to pass me, let them pass me. I don't feel too bad about it. One thing is focusing on myself. I feel like I only need to compare with
Mm,
myself.
yes.
Today, I made the commitment to run this race. It is hard. I have to face it. It is hard because I really didn't train for that, but I could do that. I feel like even if I have to walk, I can do it. So
Yes.
that's one thing. Yes,
Love that. Love
it's
that.
to finish it.
And I love
Yeah.
that you weren't comparing yourself, right? You said, okay, it's all about me. The one thing is for me to finish this race, regardless of what other
Yes.
people do. So I absolutely love that. So let's
Yeah.
talk about the E. So E is eliminate excuses and distractions.
Oh,
And obviously, let's be honest, running in the snow is an easy excuse where you could have easily have said, okay, it's cold here, it's snowing, I'm gonna stay home and I'll do it another day. What
wow.
excuses showed up in your mind this morning and how did you shut them out?
Wow. This morning actually not just snow. And last night I couldn't fall asleep and I felt terrible. I didn't sleep well.
Mm.
I woke up at 3 o'clock. I felt thirsty, so I went to get water. And then I woke up at 5 and then I woke up at 6. So basically I really didn't sleep well. And so the energy wasn't there. That's another excuse. Then yes, the snow and I had no experience. It's slippery, and my husband was saying, "What if you fall or something like that?" I said,
So
"Oh,
lots of noise in your ear, right?
a
Yeah.
lot of noise, a lot of noise." I said, "Oh, let me go check out. If no one runs, maybe I don't have to run." And then I double check my phone. Oh, it's not canceled. So I got to show up. At least show up to check out what's going on. All the excuses are there. I find a way to just overcome. For example, slippery, and then I just find this device to deal with it, or just run slower. And the other thing, not much energy. So I just had the banana. Usually I don't eat any food before running like a short run. But for half marathon, I know I had to have energy. So I had some snacks and protein bar and banana in the morning and cold. So I just wear layers and bundled. The preparation is a great way to help eliminate those excuses.
Absolutely. You were prepared for it, right? So whatever showed
Yeah,
up, the weather, the
yeah,
slipperiness, I mean, you were prepared for it. The energy level, you prepared by eating food.
yeah,
So love that. You eliminated
yeah.
those excuses and distractions. And the thing is, if you had a said, okay, because of the weather, I'm not going to do this half marathon, no one would have faulted you. But I
Yes.
love that you did it for yourself. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, I did it just for myself. I said, as long as the race is on, I'm going to do it because that's what, yeah, that's what I committed to do.
Yes. So then let's move on to the R then. So R is all about responsibility for your actions and your attitude. And obviously the main actions was you doing the half marathon. So let's talk more about attitude. So crossing that finish line today, what did it teach you about the importance of owning your attitude, no matter the circumstances?
I think attitude means so much. As we talked about growth mindset, I think that really applies so well in a race because there are so many noises along the way. You can just give up. And I also saw so many people just give up, and then walk back. And I just feel okay. I just do a little bit more, do a little bit more, and it's that basically just focusing on one step at a time. I
Yes.
I have no idea whether I can completely like finish strong like I did today. However, I do the best that I can at that moment. That's
And you
what
take
I
that
was
next step.
telling myself. Let's just next step. And then I see next mile,
So
something
how
like
did,
that.
how did it feel
So,
crossing the finish line? How did you celebrate when you crossed the finish line?
oh, it was amazing. It was amazing.
I
And
saw the
then I
video, but
feel
yeah.
like I couldn't believe that I did that. I thought I was going to totally pass out, or I was thinking, I was imagining all those dramatic scenes. Like I was going to, my legs are totally soft, and I will just lie on the snow. And I
And your
also
husband has
was
carried you home, right? So yeah.
yeah, I was looking for my husband, my daughter. My husband was filming. I thought he was filming me, but actually he didn't find me in the crowd, and he was filming me. I had to call him. I said, "I'm here. I'm here." The moment of seeing my family means a lot too. I feel like they were there. They were waiting for me. I got to finish strong. And another thing is. As a mom, I always try to be a good role model to my
Mm,
daughter. I may not be the smartest uh, or in some other areas. I feel like a mindset is something I can set a good example for her to follow. And because challenges are uh, like unavoidable, we have to face that. And how we deal with it is very important. The mindset, if we just take it as another milestone we are going to cross, then it's so much easier and so much more enjoyable and more rewarding.
yes. Yes.
So,
And see,
yeah,
that's what a doer, and that's what being a doer is, right? So that's like a,
yeah.
a true example of what being a doer is. What you did today with your half marathon, that's being a doer.
Yeah, thank you for using that as a good example to share that with our audience. I'm sure many of us are not born doers, and it takes training and
Yeah,
practice
yeah,
and
you
discipline.
gotta do it. This one, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And then the more we do it, the more we believe in ourselves.
Hmm.
That's how I felt. Like I did first did a 5K race, then I did the 10K race in October, and now I did the half marathon. I mean, we don't need to require everyone to be able to do marathon. It's just the mindset. It's
Yes.
how we set it ourselves to do, the commitment and the determination to get something done. Yeah.
Yeah. And it starts with you really deciding what you want, right? So in your case, you
Yeah.
wanted to run a half marathon. That was your
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
And being a doer, you disciplined yourself. You focus on the one thing at a time, right? You
Yeah.
eliminated excuses and you took personal responsibility for your actions and your attitude. So it works in every area of life where people are trying to do something worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how about for a lot of professionals who have ideas
Mhm.
to, for example, launch a podcast, or they, especially for those want to run a business. I believe you work with a lot of professionals who started creating their business or building their business.
Yes.
What's their first step they need to do?
Yeah, so for a lot of entrepreneur-minded people, right? A lot of them deal with that hesitation. Maybe they're still working in corporate America and they're afraid of making that jump from corporate to entrepreneurship because it can be a little scary.
Yeah.
And what I like to tell people is, okay, number one is let's figure out, okay, what exactly do you want? And when you ask people that question, a lot of times they'll say, well, I don't want this, I don't want that. And you're like, no, 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 stop. What exactly do you want, right? What do you want to see? What do you want to see your business look like? And
Mhm.
get them to think about, okay, this is what I would like to see. Like when I think of a successful business, this is what I see in my mind. Like this is the picture that I have in my mind. So getting clear on that, because that's going to help give you that confidence of, okay, that's where I'm trying to go. Now I just need to find a plan, find a system. And James Clear said it best. He said, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. And so that's why it's important to have some type of system in place to help move you towards that goal, whether it's to own your own business. It may just be to speak up more at work, right? People have different goals, but you still want to have a system in place to help you do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just build a system, follow the doer system.
Yes, that'll work for breaking free of hesitation for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a framework for launching a business?
So that's a little tougher, right? Because there
Yeah.
are a lot of proven frameworks for launching a business for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with a business is you actually have to break it down to the different components. Like
Yes.
because I know you have a marketing background, so right. So one part is actually marketing your business to get traffic to your business, to create that awareness about what it is and who you help and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and so you just got to figure out, okay, what part of the business? Because like lead generation is a full effort. The
Mm.
deliverability, right? So what product or service are you delivering as part of your business? Is it coaching? Is it speaking? Is it a physical product that you're putting out there into the world? Like, is it a digital product you're putting out into the world? You've got to
Yeah.
figure all that stuff out. So that's why it's hard to really narrow it down to a specific
Yeah.
blueprint like that. But the beauty of it is there are proven systems. So I guarantee you, whatever business you're looking to start, someone has either written a book or created a course or some
Mhm.
type of video about the proven system that works for that industry.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As you mentioned in the doer system, one thing is very important. And to many of us, including me, the problem is so undecisive in some forms. Sometimes I'm very decisive,
Yeah.
but for this, it's like, oh, life is so big. It's so hard to focus on one. But actually, focusing on one thing is just so crucial.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it can be tough, especially when you have so many ideas and you're very talented, right? Like you know multiple
Thank you.
languages, you've got a diverse background of experiences from corporate and non-corporate and all of that. So it can be there's a lot of things going on that you're great at and that you could help people in, right? Even if you
Yeah.
wanted to coach people on how to run marathons, you probably could put together a system of here's what you do first, here's what you do next type of thing because
Yeah.
you've experienced it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the blessings also could be obstacle, when there are so many things going on. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I wish I just find a one passion, just one thing. Then I have so many interests and passion for so many things. So yeah, there
And
are always pros and
yeah, and the trick
cons.
of it is just to find one at a time. Because I actually talk about that in the book, how
Yeah.
a lot of times, like people may hear like a productivity seminar or something, and they say, okay, I'm gonna do these 10 different things, right? And they think they can do all these different things. It's like, no, pick one, right? There's only pick one thing that you can do at a time, get
Mhm.
good at that, and then move to the next thing.
Yeah.
And even like with the business thing, right? So it might not necessarily be coming up with a full-blown business plan right away. It may
Yeah.
simply be deciding, okay, this is what I want my business to look like, or this is the type of industry that I want to focus on, or
Yeah.
these are the type of people I want to help, right? So
Mhm.
just getting that clarity in that one area first, and then just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Clarity. Yeah. Definitely is the first step.
Yes.
So nowadays, I know you give a lot of speaking presentations and at some corporate. Share a little bit about your experience. Let our audience know. Maybe they also have that in need.
Yeah, absolutely. So this past year, I've had an opportunity to speak. I spoke in Jamaica. I spoke in Sydney, Australia. I spoke in Rome, Italy. And then I've done obviously lots of local US, either virtual or in person places here. And typically what I speak on is all about productivity, right? So it's either going to be self-leadership or how can you as an individual increase your personal productivity, right? Whether it's breaking free of hesitation and procrastination that's holding you back from taking the action that you know you should be taking in a corporation. But I love speaking on those type of topics.
Yeah, those are great.
I actually did one probably about maybe 3 weeks ago to a large company. I did it virtually, but it was a large company. It had like 70 or so people on virtually. And we were talking about going from drift to drive. And it was based on, so another one of my mentors, Chris Robinson, he has a book, it's behind me now, called From Drift to Drive. And so I took some
Okay.
of those concepts along with my DOER framework, and I talked to them really about overcoming complacency. See, it's that area where maybe you're succeeding, but a lot of your life is being complacent because you're basing it on last year's results, right? Like a lot of people do that at this time of year. So they'll set their New Year's resolution based on what they set them as last year's, because it might be like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna increase my income, and they'll set the same type of goals, right? So they're not stretching
Mhm.
themselves, they're
Yeah.
not really thinking differently, they're just being complacent. They're kind
Mhm.
of drifting through life, right? You
Yeah.
know, I'm 40 now, I'm 45 now, I'm 50 now, I'm 55, right? So they're just kind of drifting through life without a solid plan in place. And so I kind of
Mhm.
talked to those corporate, and they're all corporate professionals. So I talked to them about really developing that drive and kind of what that looks like and what type of questions to ask themselves so they can actually move forward and set intentional goals versus just passive goals.
Mm. This is actually remind me of the conversation I had with my husband's ex-wife when I asked her because she was a corporate marketing president and she was very successful. So I asked her whether she had goals when she was, succeeding in her corporate arena. And she said, actually, she didn't. I was quite surprised. On the other hand, she said, just use what the opportunities there
Hmm.
to leverage and do the best that you can. And in the end, yes, she had a pretty successful life. So that's actually that was a topic I would love to discuss with you, and because now it's towards the end of the year, it's a great message we can share with our audience. It's about goal setting. We how how we decide which goals are the goals that really benefit us a lot, which goals are actually may pull us down or actually limit us.
Yeah. So I want to tackle the first part first that you had with your husband's ex-wife.
Yeah.
So some people don't necessarily have traditional written goals. However, they may have a target, especially in corporate America, right? Like a lot of times in corporate America, we don't necessarily talk about people having specific goals. However, there's something that's being measured, right? So in any type of position, especially I guarantee you in her position, there were measurements in place that she had to hit, right? In terms of maybe it was either the number of sales or
Mhm.
team performance or something, right? She was getting measured based on something.
Yeah.
So even if she didn't have necessarily written goals, like we encourage people to do, she probably still had some things she was thinking about. And that's what a lot of people have. The problem with that is sometimes you can get lucky and succeed without having goals,
Mm.
right? Because like even today, your goal was to finish the marathon. And you did. You finished the marathon, at a half marathon, you did great. However, there were other people out there who they had a different goal. Like their
Yeah.
goal wasn't to finish the marathon. Their goal was to be in the top five. And so they probably did a little bit more than what you did to ensure that they hit their goal or they were closer to their goal. And so that's the benefit of having like very specific goals because it will
Yes.
make you work harder and it'll make you work more efficiently because you're trying to achieve a different result. Because
Mm.
like the result of finishing and not quitting, that's good, but then making to a certain level, that's a higher goal. You got to work a little bit harder, right?
Yeah.
Winning the marathon, the half marathon, that's a different mindset and goal. And I
Mm.
guarantee you, if you find, so even for your podcast, I encourage you, if you can reach out to like someone who's in that top five, finishing that top five, and see if you can interview them just to
Mm.
find out what their mindset was going into this marathon. Because I guarantee you it was
Very
probably
good.
slightly
Yeah.
different from yours because they were probably looking at times and measuring different things. Um,
Hmm.
right. And so I think it all comes down to what do you want? And that'll help you determine what your goals should be.
Yeah.
Because when you say, okay, I want this, then what goals or what milestones do I need to achieve to help me move closer to that goal?
Yeah. That's so true for those more professional and runners and who has set goals to win or rank to the top. They do have a more serious professional training, like
Hmm.
more consistent. It's not just like I set my foundation, like every day I do a little bit. So I know at least I have this foundation now. I didn't think of competing with the best of best. And
Yeah.
I already, yeah, the goal is different level.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I didn't have this like a very structured training for my training. And I, but in my head is because my goal is to just being able to finish.
Yeah.
So occasionally I would test myself out just in the neighborhood, see if I can run 8 miles or see if I can run 10. Okay, if I can do that, then probably I can do 13. So
Hmm.
that this is my estimation, like my evaluation for my own ability and set the reasonable goal for myself.
Yes. And
Yeah,
that worked, right? Based on your specific desire, like that level of goal setting worked.
yeah,
However, like that level of goal setting and really planning and stuff wouldn't have worked if your goal was to be number one, right?
yes,
You know you'd
that's true.
have done more and all that.
Yeah, both of us are in our middle age, and sometimes we started focusing more on spending time with family and also our well-being, like inner drive, just the peace.
Hmm.
Have you thought about that? Because now I know you are soaring and your business is soaring, and I can imagine you would be very busy too. How to balance this?
So I'll tell you, so one of the most rewarding things for me with this past year, like prior to so December 2024 was my first international trip ever. Well, I think back. Actually, I went to Panama before that. So last year I went to Panama, Jamaica, and then this year it was Australia and then Italy. But the beauty of like my Jamaica trip, my Australian trip, And my Rome trip was that my wife traveled with me. So
Okay.
you talk about that balance. So that was very rewarding for me to be able to travel internationally with my wife because we had always talked about it and doing different things. And to be able to go over and speak on one of those in an international stage, but also have my wife in the audience cheering me on, taking pictures, going out to dinner and exploring, like creating new memories
Yeah, yeah,
together has been amazing. And
yeah.
then also, we still do a lot as a family as well, because I've been very fortunate to be able to work from home. And I'm actually transitioning out of corporate at the end of first quarter next year. I'll be completely out of corporate America. But for
Oh,
the last couple of years, I've been able to work from home as well. So that gives me that time to be around family. So that helps.
yeah. Okay. That sounds like you are really in a very ideal situation. You were able to spend the time with family and balance your business as well as work and family.
Yes. And
Yeah.
like you mentioned earlier, like my goal is always to be the best role model possible for my
Yeah.
three. I know you do the same for your daughter
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah, yeah. That's something we have in common. I really focus on my family a lot, but
Yep.
at the same time, I can be ambitious, and I'm a doer and also a dreamer. I
Yep.
always have something feel like, okay, I know I'm very happy. Like every day, I know people couldn't even believe how satisfied I am because I'm just easily satisfied. Maybe because I grew up with scarcity, and so I have what I need.
Yeah.
It's already abundance to me, and so I feel very happy every day and have a lot of joy. But at the same time, I feel like, oh, I still have so much potential. I could do
Absolutely.
more. Yeah,
And you can make a space for other people, right? So people who aren't as fortunate as you, I mean, you're able to make a space for them with your
yeah,
example of here's how you can succeed
yeah.
despite your background and circumstances.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so whenever I can, I just step up to support. Yesterday, actually, I just raised a hand to be a moderator for one of the volunteering kind of a speaking engagement because someone couldn't make it. And so I'm not traveling, at least I can do that. So in the last minute, I just stepped up to do that. And they were very appreciative. And something like that is also a form of just contributing what we can to the community
Yes.
to benefit others, also to support people. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. We can't do everything, but it's like the things that we can do, hey, why not do them and do them well?
Yeah. Well, I love our conversation, and it's just always so enjoyable to chat with you about life, about the career, about dreams and hopes. And actually, I would love you to talk a little bit about your overseas speaking engagement and trip, and how you landed that speaking engagement, for example, in Sydney.
Yeah. So with that, I'm working with Joseph McClendon III, and he was holding an event called A Factor in Sydney, Australia. And they actually invited me to come out. So thankfully I've spoken on his stage before, and they knew what type of impact I could make over in Sydney. And they invited me out to deliver a talk. I came out, you know, I delivered my talk. That was a great group, high energy. So I delivered a high energy talk. I mean, it was very impactful. And then they were going to be in Rome, Italy, and offered up the opportunity for me to come over there. And of course, I said, "Hey, I'm available." My wife and I checked our calendar. We were available, so we traveled over. And that was a different speaking experience for me because we had to work through an interpreter. But it was
Oh,
absolutely amazing. Even though I don't speak Italian, we were still able to connect, add value to people. And I'll tell you. So, I mean, you know a little bit about my story, but just for your audience, I'm a natural introvert, and I used to be terrified of public speaking. Toastmasters helped me overcome that fear of public speaking. And Toastmasters really gave me a great framework for delivering my talks. Because Toastmasters was the first place I ever delivered a 45-minute presentation. It was at one of our the Toastmaster Leadership Institutes, the TLIs. So I started speaking there, speaking at Toastmaster conferences, and once I truly fell in love with speaking, it made it easier for me to be willing to go out and apply. And I'm constantly, even now, constantly applying for speaking engagements.
Yeah.
And with anything in life, like you're going to hear more no's than yeses, but I'm still out there applying for speaking engagements, looking for more opportunity. I now love traveling, so traveling overseas or locally to speak, I'm all down for it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Another shared experience and being able to speak with you now is also because of Toastmasters. That environment really helped me, and I always promote as much as I can, and to really hope more people can benefit it and can use this platform to hone their skills. For our audience, maybe they don't know you well. And I highly encourage you to listen to my first podcast episode. I interviewed Michael, and he talked more about his experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you
that was
so much.
episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1. And I will invite you back again because I would never forget the first person who pushed me to take the action to make something happen. And you are there and even checking on me. I really highly recommend people to find coaches or mentors. I'm very fortunate to call you, Michael, my mentor on technology and this podcast and a lot of other things. I just want to use this season of gratitude to truly thank you for everything and for being there for me.
You're welcome. I'm grateful for you too. Right? I still remember you posting about your vision board of, hey, my vision for this year is to start a podcast, and and then being willing to allow me to help you get it going and do the first episode. So I appreciate that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I hope more people can reach out to you and actually learn about your DO-ER system and get what they wanted to do in action.
Yes, yes. And they can go to doerswintoday.com, and you can either order the book from there, or you can also get a free chapter as well. If they just want to get a taste of it.
Thank you so much for the offer.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Okay. Do you have any closing comments or message you would like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I'd just like to remind your audience, I mentioned this earlier, life doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards doers. So go out there and be a doer.
I love it. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you again. And thank you, audience, for taking the time to learn from Michael. And hopefully you can use what you learned and put into action and in life and take some bold moves. Yes. And make your life more vibrant and just create some memories. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.